My classmates bullied me because of my severe acne and refused to sit with me at lunch. Only one girl stayed by my side through it all. Years later, when my acne cleared and everyone wanted me, I had one answer for them. Hello everyone. If you're subscribed, let's dive right into this story. This tale will absolutely infuriate you, but don't worry, justice will be served in the end. Ready? Let's begin. Don't forget to hit that like button. I absolutely love reading your amazing comments. I'm Alex, now 25 years old. And this story takes me back to the most painful yet transformative period of my life, my high school years. This is about severe acne, cruel bullying, unexpected loyalty, and how true beauty reveals itself in the most surprising ways. When I was 14, I developed what my dermatologist called severe cystic acne. It wasn't just a few pimples. My entire face was covered in painful, inflamed cysts that made me look like a completely different person. The acne was so severe that simple activities like washing my face or sleeping on a pillow became painful ordeals. My parents tried everything: expensive treatments, dermatologist visits, special diets, medications that made me sick. Nothing worked. If anything, my skin seemed to get worse during my sophomore and junior years of high school. But this story isn't really about acne. It's about Emma Rodriguez, the girl who saw past my appearance when everyone else saw only a face they could mock and avoid. Emma was pretty, popular, and could have easily joined the crowd that made my life miserable. Instead, she became the only light in the darkest period of my teenage years. Lincoln High School became my personal hell. From the moment I walked through the doors each morning until I escaped in the afternoon, I was subjected to constant ridicule, pointing, and isolation. The names they called me were creative and cruel: Craterface, Bumpy, the Walking Pepperoni, and worse. Students would literally move seats when I sat down in class. In the cafeteria, entire tables would empty when I approached. The worst part wasn't even the name calling. It was the way people looked at me. Like I was disgusting. Like my acne was contagious. Like I was less than human because of how I looked. Teachers pretended not to notice. Some even seemed uncomfortable when they had to interact with me. During group projects, I was always the last one chosen, and often ended up working alone because nobody wanted to be my partner. The psychological impact was devastating. I started wearing hoodies with the hood up constantly, kept my head down in hallways, and avoided eye contact with everyone. I felt ashamed of my existence, and convinced that I would never be worthy of friendship, let alone love. That's when Emma changed everything. Emma Rodriguez was a junior when I was a sophomore. She was beautiful, smart, and genuinely popular. Not the fake kind of popular that comes from being mean, but the real kind that comes from being kind to everyone. She had long dark hair, warm brown eyes, and a smile that could light up a room. She was on the student council, played volleyball, and seemed to effortlessly balance academics with social activities. Emma could have dated any guy in school. She could have had her pick of the popular crowd, the athletes, the musicians. Instead, she chose to befriend the kid everyone else avoided. It started on a Tuesday in October. I was sitting alone at my usual table in the far corner of the cafeteria, trying to eat quickly so I could escape to the library, when Emma appeared with her lunch tray. "Mind if I sit here?" she asked casually, as if it was the most normal thing in the world. I was so shocked I could barely speak. Sure." Emma sat down across from me and started eating like this was completely routine. "I'm Emma," she said with a genuine smile. "Alex," I managed to reply, certain this was some kind of joke or dare. "Nice to meet you, Alex. How's your day going?" For the first time in months, someone was treating me like a normal human being. We talked about classes, teachers, homework, ordinary teenage conversations that felt extraordinary to me. As Emma got up to leave, she said something that still gives me chills. "Same time tomorrow?" I nodded, not trusting myself to speak. Emma kept her word. The next day, she sat with me again, and the day after that, and every day for the rest of the school year. Our lunch conversations became the highlight of my day. Emma was funny, intelligent, and had this amazing ability to make me forget about my acne for 30 minutes each day. She talked to me about her dreams of becoming a teacher, her family, her volleyball games, and always asked about my interests too. The incredible thing was that Emma never once mentioned my acne. She never stared at my face, never asked uncomfortable questions, never made me feel self-conscious. She looked at me, really looked at me, and somehow saw past the physical problems to the person underneath. But Emma's friendship came at a social cost for her. The popular crowd started questioning why she was wasting time with me. Her former lunch table would make comments when she walked past to sit with me. "Emma, what are you doing?" I heard Chloe Morrison, one of the queen bees, ask her one day. "You don't have to sit with him." Emma's response was swift and firm. "I sit where I want to sit with who I want to sit with." Some of Emma's friends started excluding her from weekend plans and social events because they didn't want to risk having to include me. Emma never complained about this to me, but I noticed that she was making sacrifices for our friendship. By spring of my sophomore year, I was dealing with conflicting emotions about Emma's friendship. I was incredibly grateful for her loyalty and kindness, but I also felt guilty that she was being socially penalized for befriending me. "Emma," I said one day during lunch, "you don't have to keep sitting with me. I know it's causing problems with your other friends." Emma looked at me seriously. "Alex, do you think I'm friends with you because I feel sorry for you?" I don't know. Maybe? "Well, I'm not. I'm friends with you because you're funny, smart, and kind. You're more interesting than half the people in this school, and you're certainly more genuine than most of them. But your social life, my social life is fine, and if someone has a problem with who I choose to be friends with, then they're not really my friend anyway." Emma's unwavering loyalty during this conversation showed me that her friendship wasn't charity. It was real. She genuinely enjoyed my company and valued our relationship. During the summer between my sophomore and junior years, my parents decided to try one more dermatologist, Dr. Sarah Chen, who specialized in severe acne cases. Dr. Chen took one look at my skin and immediately prescribed a medication called Accutane, which was known for dramatic results, but came with serious side effects. "This medication can be life-changing for severe cases like yours," Dr. Chen explained. "But it's intense. You'll need monthly blood tests, and your skin might get worse before it gets better." I started the Accutane treatment in June, and Dr. Chen was right. Initially, my skin got worse. The acne seemed more inflamed, and I developed painful dry patches. But Dr. Chen assured me this was normal, and part of the healing process. Emma and I stayed in touch throughout the summer through text messages and occasional hangouts. She never made me feel self-conscious about my appearance, even when the Accutane made my skin look temporarily worse. "How's the treatment going?" she'd ask with genuine concern. "It's rough right now, but the doctor says it should start improving soon." "I know it will, and I can't wait for you to feel better about yourself." Emma's support during the treatment was crucial. She reminded me that my worth wasn't determined by my appearance, but I could tell she wanted me to feel confident and comfortable in my own skin. By August, something amazing started happening. The angry red cysts on my face began to fade. The constant inflammation started to subside. For the first time in 3 years, I looked in the mirror and saw clear patches of normal skin. By the time school started for my junior year, the transformation was dramatic. The Accutane had worked better than anyone expected. My skin wasn't just improved, it was completely clear. Not only that, but the treatment had somehow revealed good bone structure that had been hidden under the acne. When I walked into Lincoln High that first day of junior year, I barely recognized myself in the bathroom mirror. I had clear skin, my jawline was defined, and my eyes seemed brighter without the distraction of inflamed acne. The reaction from my classmates was immediate and shocking. The first person to notice was Jessica Martinez, a girl who had been particularly cruel to me sophomore year. She did a literal double take when she saw me in the hallway. "Oh my God, Alex? Is that you?" Word spread quickly through the school. By lunchtime, I was receiving attention I'd never experienced. Girls who had never spoken to me were suddenly finding reasons to start conversations. Guys who had mocked me were now trying to be friendly. Chloe Morrison, who had criticized Emma for sitting with me, actually approached me in the hallway. "Alex, you look amazing. We should hang out sometime. I'm having a party this weekend if you want to come." The irony was incredible. These same people who had treated me like a disease were now acting like we'd always been friends. But the most important reaction was Emma's. When I found her at our usual lunch table, her face lit up with genuine happiness. "Alex, you look incredible. How do you feel?" "Different," I said honestly. "Really different. I'm so happy for you. You deserve to feel confident." What struck me was that Emma's treatment of me hadn't changed at all. She was happy for my improved self-confidence, but she related to me exactly the same way she always had. I was still just Alex to her, the same person she'd been friends with when I was at my lowest point. Over the next few weeks, I was invited to parties, asked on dates, and included in social groups that had previously excluded me. It was intoxicating to experience popularity after years of isolation. Some of my new admirers were particularly persistent. Chloe Morrison seemed determined to win my attention, constantly finding excuses to talk to me, and making it clear she was interested in dating. "You know, Alex," she said one day after chemistry class, "I always thought you were cute. I just never had the chance to get to know you before." This was a complete rewrite of history. Chloe had been one of my worst tormentors, but now she was acting like we'd been friends all along. The attention was flattering, but it also felt hollow. These people were interested in me now because of how I looked, not because of who I was. They were the same people who had made my life miserable when I needed kindness most. Meanwhile, Emma continued to be herself, genuine, supportive, and consistent. Our friendship didn't change, but I started to see her differently. I began to notice things I'd been too insecure to appreciate before. Emma was beautiful, but it was a different kind of beauty than the girls who were now pursuing me. Her beauty came from her character, her loyalty, her kindness. She had been beautiful all along, but my own insecurities had prevented me from fully recognizing it. By November of my junior year, I had a revelation that changed everything. I was at a party hosted by Chloe Morrison, surrounded by the popular crowd that had once made my life hell. When I realized I felt completely empty, These people were laughing at the same jokes I'd always made, but now they thought I was funny. They were interested in my opinions on subjects I'd always been passionate about, but now they thought I was smart. Nothing about me had changed except my appearance, yet their treatment of me was completely different. I excused myself from the party and drove to Emma's house. She was surprised to see me, since she knew I was supposed to be at Chloe's party. "Everything okay?" she asked, letting me into her family's living room. "These past few months, with all the attention and popularity, I think I lost sight of something important." Emma waited patiently for me to continue. "You were my friend when I had nothing to offer socially. You sat with me when it hurt your own social standing. You saw something in me when I couldn't even see it in myself." "Alex, let me finish. All these people who want to be my friend now, they're interested in how I look. But you were interested in who I am. That's incredibly rare." Emma smiled softly. "You're a good person, Alex. You always have been." Emma's reaction was careful and thoughtful. "Alex, I care about you so much, but I need to make sure you're not just grateful for my friendship. It's not gratitude," I said firmly. "You're beautiful, Emma. You're kind, intelligent, and loyal. You showed me what real character looks like. What about all the girls who are interested in you now? They're interested in what I look like. You were interested in who I am." Emma was quiet for a moment. "I've had feelings for you too," she admitted, "but I didn't want to complicate our friendship when you were struggling. And now I think we should see where this goes." Word about us dating spread quickly. The reaction was telling. Chloe Morrison was particularly vocal. "I don't understand why you're wasting your time with her," she said. "You could be with anyone now." "I am with someone," I replied. "Someone who was there when I needed a friend most. But things are different now." "You're right. Now I can see clearly who people really are." The contrast was obvious every day. Emma cared about my thoughts, goals, and dreams. The popular girls seemed to view me as an accessory, someone good-looking to be seen with, but they rarely showed interest in my personality. Emma and I dated through high school and got married 3 years after graduation. At our wedding, I told the story of how we met, how she chose to sit with the kid everyone else avoided. "Emma didn't fall in love with my clear skin," I said, looking at my wife. "She fell in love with my character. That taught me the difference between attraction and love, between popularity and friendship." Many former classmates were there, including Chloe Morrison. I could see her watching our celebration with what looked like regret. My severe acne showed me who was worth having in my life. Emma chose compassion over popularity when it mattered most. That choice revealed the kind of person she was, and the partner she would become. Physical appearance changes, beauty fades, but character, kindness, and loyalty last forever. Emma and I have been married for 5 years now. She's an elementary school teacher with a talent for seeing potential in overlooked children. I counsel teenagers dealing with social anxiety and self-image issues. Emma showed me that true beauty isn't about perfect skin. It's about having the courage to be kind when kindness isn't cool, to be loyal when loyalty is costly, and to love someone when they can't love themselves. Have you ever had someone stand by you during your worst moments? Share your story. Sometimes the people who love us at our lowest points are the ones worth keeping forever. Don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories about finding love in unexpected places and why character matters more than appearance.